It's such a weird situation on a lot of different levels. So, I can cook, but I need some ingredients to cook with. And I'm more of a naturalist. So, nothing in this world is ideal. No ideal situation, no ideal time, no ideal person. And I'm getting fed a lot of putrid, rotten garbage. It's like, people are using a rag to wipe up the piss dribblings of their toilet, and then they're squeezing that into a cup and then saying, "Here, how you like that?" Well, I don't like it. Tastes like piss, tastes like shit. But we got to work with what God has given us, so to speak. Feels good to be smoking again. That cold turkey nicotine withdrawal, that's no joke. That's real shit. That is real shit. So, still got my shoulders at least. No, I mean, that was crazy. That was a crazy 2 days. You wouldn't want to do that. So I'm open to ideas, but the current state of affairs is really, it's difficult. Difficult for sure. Meaning just taking in these different energies, being so accessible, being so available. Then we say, well, let's go members only. Let's close down the group. And that's good and fine and all, but then you just got a bunch of empty faces, empty places, allegedly sitting there and listening. So that's difficult too. And then all those people that, if you do turn off the comments, or if you do members only, all those people that just won't be there. And I think it would probably be better for those people to be there. That's what I think. Then there's the alleged real people that are here, right? Allegedly, there's real people that come here and they don't know what's going on. And then the Jankum dealers basically are trying to get these random people hooked on Jankum. And then the troll army that gets off, on being blocked or being muted. And so I don't like that. I don't like getting these people off. But then if I just ignore them and detach from them, then they're busy influencing people who are just coming around. And they have all these rules that Buddhism isn't, we're not allowed to view the situation from a Buddhist perspective. We're not allowed to talk about it from a Buddhist perspective. And also that I've been I've been identified as guilty in terms of their ego and my ego, and I need to be held accountable for that. We work with a lot of allegories. We speak on a lot of different levels here. It's not always literal. And just general stupidity, the general stupidity of people. I woke up, not just now, but today, with this sore, there's like, when I swallow, you can feel a sore or something in the throat. So I don't know. I don't have the answers. I don't have the answers. But also, I don't want to just sit around and look at myself with a bunch of fucking stupid people just yapping either, even without the trolls, you know? There's not always something to talk about, there's not always something to do. And apparently, that can be a good thing. Now, in terms of content recommendation, I just came across bangin', a bangin' bad anime. It's called, and it goes into speciesism. It's very intellectual, very highbrow, and also great anime. And it's called The Darwin Incident. The Darwin Incident. Yeah, trolls are the spice of life when they're good trolls or generous trolls. I'm not talking about giving me money. And but if you haven't lived a rich life, so for me it's just boring stupidity and jankum dealers, telling me that they've made a new jankum, they've made a special jankum, you know? So it doesn't have anything to do with finances. Just because you have money, it doesn't mean you have taste. It doesn't mean you have something worth, we're not construction laborers. You know what I mean? So money doesn't really mean anything. Just because you're financially fine, so what? Who cares? I am too. You know. So we'll have to see about something. Let's get rid of you, Andrew. Yeah, like me. And how about you little shitheads have some respect and stop talking to a bunch of random people? This live stream isn't for you two to for you to talk with fucking each other. This live stream is about me, you fuckheads, and what I have to say. little bit of respect goes a long way. Oh, what's the answer? Well, it's like with third spaces. Anybody here heard about third spaces? Americans want more third spaces, like libraries and coffee shops where you can hang out, right? But actually, you make those third spaces, and then a bunch of homeless people show up, right? Nice to meet you, Maha. And it's the same with this. People want a spiritual space, or right? I mean, even just like objectively, if we were looking at a majority of my life experiences that would be relevant and presented here, like a guy who was a Buddhist monk for 8 years. I know nobody's allowed to be an artist. I'm not allowed to be an artist, right? So I won't talk about that. But somebody who's a little bit artistic or autistic, right? Somebody who has all this interesting life experience. So, okay, sure. Have somebody like that go live, and we can have conversations. There can be a space, right? But then immediately all the psychotic people, all the homeless people, all the, kind of low people show up and just start making noise. No, it's good. It's good. People want to mess around, but the way that this format is, like the forms that we have to use in this kind of space, it means that people basically have a lot more freedom to not be genuine and to not be exposed. And the beauty of being together is mutual exposure. You know what I mean? So it's not like holding someone accountable according to our egos, thoughts, and opinions and beliefs about other people, but actually according to that raw, direct human experience in the here and now. Because you might have some big idea about someone else and their ego and their life. But if you go into a community space and you just start saying, this guy's a freak, this guy's a bad guy, or whatever, everybody's going to look at you and say, okay, yeah, but what's your deal? And in this space, it's basically impossible for that to happen. It happens very naturally, happens very directly. Thanks, Jay. There's some issue with the Red Dead Redemption roleplay where my memory is getting blocked up on the computer, and it's causing like the Red Dead roleplay server space to crash. So it's not working very well. That's why I would do that more otherwise. I'm not looking for interpersonal or fake parasocial relationships with anybody here. You've got a few options, but these are all the options that you have. Be a donor, donate, support regularly, be a practitioner, or in the middle of that, be a volunteer. But other than that, there's not any space. People are having this wrong idea of, I'm coming here to form parasocial relationships with people to bring value to my life. But actually, we're not doing that. We're not playing that game here. I've formed some relationships with people here through them being donors, through them being volunteers, through them being practitioners, through them being yogis, nuns. But we're not here to, create a parasocial relationship environment. And actually, I'm here to teach. Yeah, I agree, Maha. I'm here to teach, I'm here to listen, I'm here to share, but I'm not here to form vague, shallow, superficial, parasocial relationships with anybody, whether they be wanting to, Rob, I love your stuff, or saying, Rob, I know who you really are, I'm going to get you. Doesn't matter who it is. I'm not, that's not what this is about. And I don't have much tolerance either for just random people talking to each other under the umbrella of my presence. That's also very annoying and very stupid. So it's a lot to ask. It's a big ask, but that is, what we're doing here. That's what the space is about. I know I'm not allowed to be an artist. I know that the only art that's allowed is jankum art or piss art or shit art, and I have to digest that inside myself, that I'm not allowed to be an artist. I'm not allowed to describe what I do or represent myself or my work, my content creation, because the trailer park people don't agree with that. I'm coming to terms with that slowly. Slowly, I'm coming to terms with that, but it's still something I've got to digest. Do you? So maybe it's time for a vacation soon. And you can't manage these people. I mean, it's an impossible task. It is impossible. It's not even a task. It's just impossible to manage these people. And if I'm doing this live stream, opening up this space, and those people are there, well, then, I have to manage myself. Yeah. I wish I thought that. I think I'd be able to. And that's the thing, when you take out all these elements, like I always think about now I'm sounding like Seale Aloha or Seale Ahokama, whatever her name is, Seale Katrina. Uh, that thought always seems to come up about money. I'd be better making money. I don't need to make any money, for better or worse. As far as I know, as far as I can see, I don't need to make any money. I don't need to do anything to make any money. So you take that motivation out of it. Nor do I have much belief in money just because I'm generally stingy and I don't have much use for it. Actually, we're thinking about moving, or we have an option, me and my wife, to go and live at a place where we don't have any rent. So it's like, what do I need money for? I don't need money for anything. Like I said, Hung's family has homes in Vietnam, throughout the country, different places in the. I wish it was throughout the country. I don't know. Really, Hung's a wonderful woman, but so it's. I don't even really have to pay rent, and then we have this idea of like doing this for attention. Well, the trolls have figured that out, and I've figured that out for myself as well, in the way that I've presented, right, to make sure that there's not much space for people to just vaguely identify with me and what I'm doing and just show up and tell me how great I am. But, you come here to do your live streams or something and you get fucking piss water served to you. For whatever reason, people say, okay, I want to come and be with Dr. Rob. Maybe they don't say it in that tone, but that's what they decide to do, literally. And then they're serving me fucking jankum piss water, you know, and showing me paintings they made of their shit and telling me, actually, I was able to get a hold of some of your shit in the toilet too, and I made a painting of that. So that, you don't do it for that. And then this whole thing, I'm not allowed to represent for myself. I'm not allowed to be honest. My honesty is subject to anonymous people's truth serum that they have about me. And it just goes on and on and on and on. If you think this audience is brilliant, it's no surprise, it's no wonder where you got your username from. No offense. I don't need anyone to support me in that sense, in that context. I have tons of support. I don't need random people. I don't need anybody here to support me. For what? To tap me on my back and say, Rob, you're doing a good job. We're proud of you, Rob. We, the ephemeral, torturous we. Who cares? All these people that show up anonymously, randomly, and make these comments to who? I don't care. And then we're trying to it's a jerk off competition of who can get me to react. What is that about? It's like a molestation kink or something. I'm gonna get you to react. And then people like Concise Dharmata, he puts on some dumbass Dharma nickname, whereas clearly they're just some sick-minded person. And they say the 31 viewers is evident of that. Who cares? Who cares what you say as a random anonymous person that isn't sharing anything? I think that's why some people like me because I share a lot, you know? Well, I didn't give in to the addiction, did I? If you watch the live stream, you would see that I was beyond the addiction and I chose to smoke. Okay? Nobody cares. Shut up. This stream isn't about you. Come on. My life isn't about you. Come on. What are you talking about? This stream is not about you. It's not about your opinion. It's not about what you think about it. It's not about what you know about it. Whether people like it or not, I'm a very interesting person. I'm very well traveled. I've had a lot of rich and interesting and unique experiences. Interesting enough for you to be here. People don't even understand what words mean. You are choosing to come here and watch me. I don't care what else is added onto that. You're interested enough in this to be coming here and watching me. I don't care how you justify that or explain that. Nobody here does. Nobody here has a capacity to care about that because you're just an anonymous username. Like I said, I already answered that, outsider. I don't care what else you add on to that. I'm not talking about that. I didn't add anything onto that for you to give another side to. You're interested enough to come here and watch my body, look at my body, and listen to my voice, period. I'm not opening up a conversation between me and you. I don't want to have a conversation with you. I don't care what you think about it. I don't care what you have to add on to it. I'm not adding anything onto it. I'm not drawing us into a secret conclusion or a secret mission that exposes your ego. You're interested enough in this to come here and listen to my voice and to look at my body, period. And I don't care what you have to say about why. I don't care why you're interested in. That's just you sloughing around in your brain, going around in circles, pretending that you're a part of a conversation. It doesn't have to. I'm not saying it has to be that way, but that's currently the way that it is. And then everybody starts writing in their diary or talking to the great beyond, the great anonymous group of people that have no idea who they are, and that person doesn't know who any of those people are, and's writing yabba dabba 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 ding dong. Start your own live stream if you want to write into your diary with anonymous people. That's what I did. I'm not the Amish one. That's the other guy. That's the Shiva guy. He's the guy who came from the Amish community. Yeah, we come back to a 0 point. We come back to an awareness point again. Just, it's not even, sometimes it's annoying, sometimes it's not. It's just your character that seems to need to be stupid. It seems to need to make this into something stupid. But this doesn't need to be something stupid. Just like it doesn't need to be something shallow, just like it doesn't need to be something negative, just like it doesn't need to be something superficial. But there's something in our ego that's like a compulsion that tries to make it that way. I'm not trying to make it anyway. I'm just sitting here. And then you tell me, actually, I know you. I know your mind. Well, I don't care. Just shut up. I didn't ask you. Not interested in your opinion. People try to force their opinion or their presence here to be relevant. Maybe look at yourself and see why you're trying to do that. See why you're trying to force your ego and your opinion to be relevant in a place where it's not welcome. Not saying to defend myself or defend the situation. I'm saying maybe that would be useful for you to do, for you to look into. There hasn't been enough. Everybody's getting fat, but nobody's exercising. Okay. Now you got all these fat people hanging out here saying, give up. You don't even want clown makeup. You're too sedated. It'll take more time and it'll take more generosity, Mike. You want to go quicker? Give more. Just let go. We don't answer questions like that, good person. We don't answer questions from disingenuous, psychotic freaks. You come here as a human being. Introduce yourself. Share your experience. Ask a real question. Be a real person. Take that question to an AI model. Hi, ChatGPT. I want you to role play as if you were a Buddhist monk for 8 years and are live streaming on a YouTube chat. Here's the question: what to do if a good person was a bad person and wants to be a good person again? Go and ask ChatGPT. Not as important as people say that it is, but a useful tool. How many hours a day do I meditate? Less than an hour if I'm lucky. I don't force myself to meditate. I just meditate naturally. All the time, sure, but what's all the time? Generosity can be a lot of ways. I don't know. It could be introducing your fucking self. Glad to hear that, Thackeray. Introduce yourself and don't drone on about all your thoughts about things, but just introduce yourself as a human being to a human being that you're very interested in looking at and listening to because that opportunity is there. I don't want to mute real idiots. Real idiots are not a problem, but fake idiots are a problem. Fake idiots are, there's probably nothing more annoying than a fake idiot, except for a fake idiot with bad intentions. Yeah, see, Thackeray, you've been here. We know about it. Okay, that's called an opinion, Kai. You need to put on a clown nose before you start taking yourself too seriously. Luca Brasi, are you a real idiot? Are you a fake idiot? What are you talking about? You know, it's almost like to do this work, I need nicotine, I need opiates, I need everything in the medicine cabinet to do what I'm trying to do here. Boring is better than annoying. But actually, it's just how you work with it. But a real idiot who fakes being an idiot with good intentions is even worse. Think about it. Uh, how about you think about this, Ed? We're not equal here. We are not equal here. You are making a choice to come here. I'm not talking about me. You are making a choice to come here and to look at me and listen to me. I have never made the choice to go to you and to listen to you or look at you. Nothing added on, no special secret intention behind it. Just think about that. We're not equal in terms of what's going on here. You are a guest. I am the host. No, tramadols aren't good. They have a SSRI effect. You know, people say you're so stupid, and then I say something real, and then that's not allowed. You are a guest here. I am the host. The way that you act as a guest presents your mind. The way that I act as a host presents my mind. But you role playing as the host of me, and that I'm your guest and I'm stalking you or I'm following you, or that me living my life and then you following me around and coming to watch and listen to me has something to do with what I'm trying to do with you or with the general population is just insane. This is what I'm doing with my life. Thank you, Scott. And that's what you're doing with your life. So look at it, be aware of it. I don't actually plant seeds. That's just a meme. I don't believe in all that. But it's a good practice and it's true. Stop looking for excuses for what you're doing and instead look at the intention behind what you're doing. I can say that to you as the host. For you to say that to me as a guest is ridiculous. Not totally ridiculous, but fairly ridiculous. There's a lot of flexibility in guest and host. And technically, it has nothing to do with what I'm describing. It's more like something that stays and something that comes and goes. Okay. Bye, tinfoil. Smell you later. And Luca Brasi, this is not your journal. This is not your notebook. And Revenant, here, that's called flushing the toilet. Moped Mike, this is your final warning, buddy. I've been giving you tons of leeway. I've been giving you tons of space. This is your final warning. You're always coming in here with a lack of respect. He's been out of line. I don't know what his situation is. He's got TBI or something. I don't know what it is, but get it together, buddy. Okay. I'm not a McDonald's worker that you're friendly with. You're not doing me any favors by being here. Well, tonight is working out better than I thought that it was. Well, send me a message and introduce yourself on WhatsApp, Moped Mike. Otherwise, just be quiet and listen. Max Green, you are in my live stream. If you don't want to be in my live stream, then go somewhere else. Are you retarded? And then we get this idea of people being public protectors or something. Go and pick up trash in your neighborhood, clean your house. Um, what do you want to do? Go and do it. But leave me out of it. Something to think about, something to breathe on, something to breathe in. I'll tell you a little bit about this. So there's a level of intimacy that's on offer here. There's a level of reality that's on offer here. So try to be real. And if you can't be real, then this probably isn't the place for you. And as much as you might try to be a problem, problems are supportive. Difficulties are inherently beneficial. So I'll do my best to make use of it. But I'm sorry, everybody, whether you like it or not, there's no need. I don't need money here. I do not need money. So regardless of if I like money or not, or if it's a good gift to give or not, I don't need any money. So that's what it is. Well, I'm not here to reject anybody. I'm here to teach. I'm here to share. I'm here to listen deeply and share deeply. I may be here to petition for the laws to be changed when it comes to art. That art has to be jankum or piss and shit related, or is totally outlawed. Anything that has an artistic definition is outlawed. AJ Armin says you look great. I bet a lot of women fancy you. I can't tell you, man. Anytime I go out, it's rare that I will see a beautiful woman that doesn't open up to me, so to speak. But I have a wife, so it's a lesson in restraint and detachment, mindfulness and detachment. Okay. No name, you want to talk? You should become a member. All right, no name. You don't have $5 a month to give for a membership, then maybe you don't need to focus all your time here, okay? And then people say something that has something to do with money. What am I going to do with what's anybody going to do with $5? You know? Strongest attachment right now is to wanting to feel good. That's the strongest attachment. Wanting to feel pleasure. But it's not nicotine related. Okay. See you later, no name. That's a good comment though. Thank you. And I don't know, maybe I, I don't care about people's opinions so much. Is that a bad thing? That I don't give a fuck what you think about my life or what I'm doing. I'm not I don't give a fuck what your commentary on what I'm doing is. Now that can be callous, put some care into that not caring, but is that supposed to be a bad thing or a wrong thing? And then you say that to people and it's like their heads like turn or spin around in their asshole in their asses or something. They say, "What's all this shit on my face?" I don't know. Maybe I don't care about a random fucking person and their opinion, you know? Not that your opinion's right or wrong or helpful or not helpful. I just don't give a fuck what your opinion is. And then they have it's like the light of fireworks go off in their brain or something. I don't care what your opinion is. I don't care what you think about this. I don't care what you think about me. That's indubitably impossible, sir. Or I'll make you care. Says you, Zombalabune, and that's just your opinion again. I don't know, Milton. Maybe because you're on my fucking YouTube channel. Why am I telling you about my opinion and what I care about and what I don't care about? I don't know. Maybe because you're fucking looking at me and listening to my voice. You must be interested enough to be here and listen to me. Okay, shut up, Milton. You're retarded. See, Thackeray, why are you saying high flack as well? What does that mean? High flack as well. What is flack? Who is flack? And you answer this question or you won't be leaving any more comments on your account. And then what's this thing about, but you're getting angry? So the fuck what? Why are you, the moment I get agitated, you've whipped out your cock and you're masturbating. And you're saying, and everybody's now you've got a circle of people masturbating because I seem to be annoyed or frustrated in some way. What's that about? You know what I mean? Yeah, I get angry. I got a bunch of fucking random people here with me that are saying a bunch of bullshit or saying a bunch of random things, calling me a pedophile, and I get a little bit agitated. Okay, so why are you jerking off because I'm a little bit agitated? That seems to be more interesting to me than a human being being agitated or a little bit angry. Yeah, I get angry, I get agitated. Oh my God. And these people that come, this is what I'm talking about, being served, people's jankum and being served piss. Thank you for your piss, Michael. Thank you for the shit in a cup that you're offering to me. Thanks, but I think I'll let you keep that. Don't tell me what to let it bother me, Gavin. You don't have $5 a month? You don't have $5 to be a member? If anybody wants to tell me what to do, what to let bother me or what to not let bother me, at least be a member. Okay, new rule. No is not an option. And I don't care, and nobody cares if you say no. He talked back, he agitate good. I get him good, good. Oh! What are you gonna finish on my face? You gonna finish on the screen? Here, finish on the screen. You agitated me with your dumbass fucking retarded comment. Come on my face. And people act like they don't know what I'm talking about. Aditya, I want to say something to you. Are you here right now, Aditya? I've been meaning to say this to you for a while, and I want to say this to you because this is something quite been weighing on my heart. Aditya, after we took that bath together and during our journey in Australia, I was in a vulnerable, I was in a sensitive, I was in an exposed place. And you asked me how much money I had. And you caught me off guard. And I was, the whole situation, I was nervous about the money and you and Lee and people, who's going to pay for gas and who's going to pay for this, who's going to pay for that. And you asked me, Aditya, how much money I had, and I said I had a couple $1,000 saved up. And I have to tell you, Aditya, that I lied, and I'm sorry. I had more than a couple $1,000, and I'm sorry that I said that to you, Aditya. Sorry that I lied to you. White, black, brown, gray, whatever it was. It wasn't totally honest. And I'm sorry, Aditya. That whole trip and that whole situation was frankly a lot more than I was prepared to deal with. And, I was kind of defensive. I felt defensive. See, Thackeray, I can't see anybody named Flack. And I've heard you say that multiple times. And we get a lot of weird characters out there. So I just wanted to draw a line on you there. But feel free to come and feel free to go. Yeah, I'm sorry, Aditya. Aditya. So I hope you accept my apology, Aditya. Yeah, I must have him blocked or something. I can't see Flat Corona. Maybe it's a glitch or something. Yeah. Yeah, I cannot see anybody named Flat Corona commenting. And I don't know why I wouldn't be able to see them commenting, but I can't. Well, I'm not going to tell you I'm Rand Scotch anything, but I already said the reason that I did not was not so honest. What's enlightenment? Who am I? Who are you? Who's asking me the question? Yeah, Flack, I can't see you. I don't know how that works. Well, now we seem to be going downhill, everybody. There you go. Good, Frank. Good. Right. Exactly, Arch. Good. All right, Gavin. Well, We're not going to be taking advice from you anymore, Gavin, okay? Be quiet. Demos, no need for you to comment or talk. Don't talk to the audience, okay? Don't talk to the audience. We don't need the lights. Being here in the dark is better. I feel less exposed. I feel more discreet. I feel more, a little bit more, you know what? Everybody needs to see me in 4K. Every eye movement, every fucking wrinkle, every fucking twitch, every fucking gesture. You need to see all that. I feel a little bit more, yeah, a little bit more covert, a little bit more in the shadows. I mean, it was just this situation where I found myself together with two students in Australia going through the bush that had basically no Buddhist training at all. That saw me as a basically I don't know how they would be able to see me as anything other than a fucking crazy person, and yet a crazy person that had wisdom, that there was some trust with, and they didn't really know what we were doing. I didn't really know what we were doing, but we were just going. We had a moment where nobody wanted to drive the car, and we had to just, and one person's having a mental breakdown, and then the other person's having a mental breakdown, and I'm just trying to keep a smoko in my hand and get them to go to the destination. And yeah, it was just a precarious situation. The last thing I wanted anybody to do was start looking at me to pay for the gas and to pay all the bills and things that were coming up in the situation. So I don't know. But I make a commitment now to be more honest moving forward about my finances. Eskimo, but this is one of those things where they're a part of what's happening, and I can't, for me to just perform would probably work well, right? But I can't just perform. I don't have the food. I don't have the energy to just perform. It's kind of a interdependent thing. And so when the people that are mostly speaking up are the trolls, serving me gallon after gallon of piss water, and then they see me taking a drink of the piss and squinching, and they say, "Oh, hold on a sec," and they squat their assholes over my cup and they shit into it, and they say, "There you go. That should help you out, buddy." And then I got to drink that because I'm thirsty. I need to drink something. So that, I mean, that's a real thing. That's a real reality of what's going on here. And there's only so much that anybody can do, because some people here are practicing, some people here are listening, some people here want to share, but I've told them not to get too involved because it's not going to be helpful for them, or that it would be my recommendation for them not to get involved. Um, yeah, well, you don't need to be served anything here, House of Mirrors, because you're not offering anything here. You're just sitting here as a participant, consuming and listening. You're not offering anything here. You're not doing anything here. Whereas I'm, exposed. You don't own children, ACD. Shut your fucking dumbass retard mouth. Okay. Another timeout. Maybe you'll find something better to do with your time, Marrow Tarot. Come on, go and do something else. Aditya, you paid those fucking fake mentors tens of thousands of dollars. Where's my cut, Aditya? I saved you, man. I saved you. I saved you, man. Don't ever forget it. Don't ever forget what I did for you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm the baddest person in the world. Piss water, it means serving me trash. It means people coming to me and then offering me trash and garbage. I don't know, pure ego, pure ignorance, pure attachment, pure delusion, pure anger, pure greed. There you go. And I love this too. And I love connecting with people too. But it's intense and it's difficult and it can be a great fun thing. But if I'm just drinking piss water, that's what we're gonna have to do at that time. That's good, Aditya. Aditya. He's preying on the innocent. And who are you, Batman? Sure. Yeah, sure, Aditya. But there's no ideal. That's the other dynamic. There's no ideal. Hold on, we got a light over here. Jesus. What should we do? That's the beauty shot right there. Do it natural. So the teaching in that, Aditya, is that ideals aren't real. And the more that we cling to ideals, the less we are connected with reality and the less wisdom we have. It could be that way. Sometimes it might be that way, but nothing is constant, especially not any label. And the label itself is just hallucinatory, it's empty. But if we don't have meditation, then our our wisdom gears don't have anything to line up together with from the Dharma. So it's not something that you can sell. It's not something you can really teach a course about or sell a course about. It's inherent spontaneous wisdom of non differentiation that's beyond time and people and places and situations. Shut up. Stupid fucking people, shut up. For God's sake, please shut up and go and find some real meaning in your life. Or be creative, not just my bathroom smells like piss and I don't like you. Be creative, be interesting, bring a dynamic, be playful. No, it can't. It can't be either or. But that's like where insight comes in. It can't be this or that. This is where we get into a situation where it's like it's a free, it's a, no, it's true. It's a free environment for just everything's bullshit because everything is bullshit. My disingenuous detector is going off, Adam. Only you know if it's true or not. If it's true, great. I mean, and this is the other thing. People think that oh, don't say the bad things, say the good things. I've already addressed this. I don't care. I don't give a flying fuck if you say you praising me or blaming me. That's not what this is about. The, don't blame me, praise me. Don't blame me, praise me. What are you, fucking retarded? That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying anything like that. I do care. But I'm not, that's not what this is about. I'm not interested in that. I've lived a life that's been rich and full and multifaceted, and I don't get off, okay, because somebody's saying a good thing or a bad thing about me. Because I didn't spend my fucking adult life living in a fucking basement or working some fucking job so I could have an apartment and drink beer or whatever. Sorry, sorry that there's no other YouTube people on YouTube live streams right now that were monks for 8 years. Well, Adam, then that's your ego, man. That's just your ego. There doesn't need to be any but okay. Drop the but okay, and that's great. 100%. You know, put it on the back of a $2 bill, put it on the back of a $5 bill. Put it on the back of a $50 bill. Put it on the back of a $100 bill. I don't care. I don't need to make any money this month. I don't need to make any money next month. Well, you're always welcome here in Aditya, and I wasn't faking. I wasn't pretending. I wasn't pretending, Aditya. And don't worry so much about that, Freedom Junkie. Relax. Go into the space where you don't have to be someone. I really did like you, Aditya. I wasn't tricking you. And I still like you. And I wouldn't mind a couple dollar dues. You know, it's a joke. If I didn't make any money this month, no problem. If I didn't make any money next month, no problem. If I didn't make any money the month after that, no problem. If I didn't make any money for the next year, no problem. And this is what I like to do. But sorry, we've got a lot of people that are pissing in the teacher's cup, and there's not really anything that we can do about it because this is a part of the work, is the space. is the accessibility. Okay. Well, that's great, Moped Mike. But that's just your ego. That's just your karma, man. That's just your vulnerability coming out. That if you can be hurt here, that means that you're really here. But it doesn't mean that you should create an identity out of being hurt. I tell this to my wife all the time. So, you know what I mean? It's a dynamic. And people like Eskimo, you know, just be quiet. You don't have fucking money to donate, you fucking poor loser. Bye-bye. And so let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. But don't pretend that I'm coming to you. Please, please help me. Or that this is all about you. Or that you're an important person here. Let's talk about it. Let's get the money thing out of the side, right? Dr. Rob doesn't need to make money to pay for his bills to do his things. If anything, the only reason that Dr. Rob would tell somebody to donate is to stroke his own ego, to get a dopamine rush from that experience. Subtlety, is that also a part of the art band, right? Is the art band also have a subtlety band as well? If I did not make money for a year, okay, it wouldn't stop me from taking a month-long vacation in South Korea and a month-long vacation in Japan and a month-long vacation wherever, or paying my rent for the next year or 2 years or 3 years or 5 years or whatever. I don't need any money. And then the anonymous freak stalker troll says, all right, give me the statistics. Show me your bank accounts. I don't want to show you any of my information. Mind your own business. I don't know that I'm going to allow a subtlety ban. Okay? I'll allow the art ban can't be that's too it's too much to fight about if we bring back the art concept. I understand that. If you look closely and you get out of your ego, you get out of your thought storm, you can see this body breathing. Gossip is stupid and pointless. What's there to think about it? Gossip. Who cares? This isn't about gossip. This is about what's here and now. This is about living our lives. Gossip doesn't care about reality, it just cares about the bullshit that's being passed from one person to another. Heaven's Echo, we're contemplating why you haven't given me $100. Oh. What for, Heaven's Echo? What was the money? What did you need to buy some stuff for your son or college or what was it? Good, good. We're all here. We're all here in awareness, right? So you don't have to go into the thinking machine. You can just abide in awareness or imbibe in awareness, whatever awareness you can get your hands on. Cigarette awareness, light box awareness, very good shoulders awareness. So when we don't need to speak, that's when we can speak freely from our heart. Nice. Because we're accustomed to exploiting vulnerability rather than using vulnerability to become more free and more innocent, to return to innocence. We got to get the speakers turned on for that one. We love that song. To return to innocence. And we're not going to allow I know that uh, uh, there's been some people, there's been some lobbyists in the no innocence lobby trying to get laws passed against innocence. Well, those laws are not going to be passed here. Okay? We all have a right to innocence as much as we can be vulnerable and real and human. And no, that doesn't mean that anybody here who wants to fucking think something and do something just gets to do it. You don't go to a fire station and just start playing with the hose. Okay, there's a context to every place, to any place. Here, take another 10 minutes, honey. Slow your roll. Allow I to not exist. Then emming can take place. The whole alphabet can take place without I. We remove I from the alphabet. Nobody, Jados Blackos, you don't tell me what I need to do. Only members can tell me what I need to do. You need a membership to tell me what I need to do. Yeah, the accuser shoots arrows at our own minds. This is just your own mind. This is just your mind. I am just your mind. No, no worries. You have to be a member. Remember, you have to be a member to tell me what I need to do. You know, I'm not as strong as Rob. I don't have as many experiences as Rob. I'm not as well practiced and studied in Buddhism as Rob is. Wah, 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 wah. Keep on whining. You think I'd ever show up to a bad teacher, to a low teacher, to give him the business? You're out of your fucking mind. This guy's below me. That's why I keep coming back to his live stream on different accounts and saying bullshit because I'm above him. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I bet you are. And some people I just don't like. I'm not allowed to like people. Who made up that rule? Who made up that rule that I'm not allowed to not like people? Like, look at Risen. Risen's just here spewing Christian nonsense. I like them. Risen seems cool. So it's not just about the content of what you say, it's the content of your heart. It's the content of your intentionality and your approach. Okay, I'm starting to like you less now, Risen. And if I was performing, if I was putting on a show, then I could be jerking off about the viewership. Okay? But I'm not putting on a show. So the viewership doesn't really mean anything to me. Just like if I needed money, then I could work myself up about trying to make money. I don't need any money, so the money's irrelevant. I don't need views, so the views are irrelevant. I'm healing. I'm in a detox. Okay, I'm in a detox. Maybe we got to listen to the Return to Innocence song. And then the other rule, people aren't allowed to like me. What kind of fucking piss-soaked trailer park life did you crawl out from under that you've decided that people aren't allowed to like me? What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah. No, it's good. I think it's good, freedom. Sounds good. Sounds okay. You know, and I wish I could feel like this all the time. Look, this is my desktop background for my tablet. This is my wife's teeth.
That looks incredible. The colors and composition are genuinely peaceful. It's easy to see why you'd want to hold on to that feeling.
Yeah, I agree. But that's where wisdom comes in because you don't get to feel that way you want to feel. You don't get to feel that way you want to feel all the time. And then if you do feel that way, there are consequences. There are repercussions. Let's see if this works or not. I want this tablet to break so I can get the new one. But not really, because they're not really upgrading phones and tablets these days. They just sell you the same thing for more money. This is Sangha building. I don't know what to do with you people. I don't know how to train you. I don't know how to train myself. But I'm on a journey. Love and devotion. You know, and then we have a shallow life, and we try to find other people that have a shallow life and want to have a shallow relationship with the world to make us feel like what we're doing is right or more meaningful. And look, that's not a good way to live. It's not a good way to be. Okay, well, Aditya, you come out here and give me a good reason to do that, all right? You send me $1,000, and you tell me, Dr. Rob, I want you to detox from piss water for so many days, and I'll do it. I promise you I will. I swear to God I will, Aditya. I'll even use it to get that silver chain that you didn't let me get, that you didn't allow me to get. I mean, what kind of identity, what kind of life can you be living where you've identified that somebody is worse off than you in whatever way, in your mind? That's what you think, that's what you believe, right? That's your idea, that's your opinion. And then your way of interacting with them is trying to make them feel worse, or bully them, or molest them, or interfere in some way in their lives that will gratify your ego and help them be even. It's just like saying, I'm a Christian. That means totally different things to totally different people. I'm a Christian doesn't have one absolute meaning. I've got the message. Look, Aditya, I've put on quite a few pounds since we last met. Be careful, buddy. You're not even a member here anymore. You betrayed me. We're lucky to see you a couple times a month. If there was a way that I could see the people that were watching, their usernames and how long they've been watching, that would be something different. But I can't see anything. YouTube doesn't give me any information. One person can hear this song, they can have one understanding of it. Another person can hear the same song and have another understanding of it. Another person can have another listen to the song and have another understanding of it. One person can listen to a song one time and have one understanding of it, and listen to it at another time and have another understanding of it. What are we talking about here, people? And you get these fucking these piss drinkers that come in here thinking that they're doing something. Yeah, we get it. You suck. Okay, we get it. You go to places and you do things that you don't like and that you don't want to do, and you're grumpy about it. We get it. And this is an outlet for you because you can't tell your boss at McDonald's that you don't want to be there, so you have to come here and tell me that you don't like me and you don't want to be here. We get it. How many times are we going to keep going through the same bullshit over and over again? This is my house, it's not your house. This is my body, it's not your body. This is my YouTube channel, this is not your YouTube channel. You're not the CEO of Google, you're not a social protector, you're just some fuck. So go the fuck on, or do what makes you happy, do what brings value to your life, okay? What is the Sangha to you, Aditya? I want to share with everybody something that my granddad told me. He said, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, and most of them stink. Luke, that is an opinion. Period. Your opinion has relevance. Well, that's the self-view, Aditya. There's self-view in that. But traditionally, Sangha would mean Arya Sangha. So the collection of people that are Sotapanna onward, or stream enterers and onward. A more modern, or then second from that would be the community of ordained monastics, bhikkhus and bhikshunis. Onward from that would be the Buddhist community of upasakas, real, lay, male and female Buddhist practitioners. And people talk to me, they treat me like I don't have any information, or I don't have any kind of intelligence, or so. What are these people talking about? This is my YouTube channel. I was a Buddhist monk for 8 years. The context here is not up to you. It doesn't matter what opinion you hold about this. That doesn't matter here. It doesn't matter how many times you say your opinion. What are you going to kill me? You're going to fuck me? You're going to torture me? You're going to molest me? You're going to harm the people I care about? You're going to poison the water that I drink out of? I mean, what are you going to do? It's still not going to change the fact that this has nothing to do with you, and that is what this is about. Not having anything to do with you. You don't know what you're talking about, Seabiscuit. You don't know what you're talking about, and you're bullshitting. We could do an IPA retreat, but that's probably not the kind of retreat that we would do if we could do a retreat with you. Hindus donate $19.99 on their iPhones. Buddhists donate $200 a month. Okay, Mr. Roman, let's see it here. $10, all right. Mr. Roman says, don't know if I missed your answer. For knowledge and understanding, I saw you yesterday enacting a demonic persona, red with yellow eyes and different voice. What was the spiritual lesson here? No fixed identity. That belief in a self does not invalidate the reality of no apparent fixed identity. Period. Seabiscuit says that about the Sangha. Do you know that the Buddha welcomed a fucking serial rapist and serial child murderer to the Sangha? After the Buddha saw him and he said, hey, child murderer, I've stopped. It's you that hasn't stopped. And then Angulimala put on his Angelo Delulu devotee face, and the Buddha said, okay, you're a monk, come with me. Oh, it's possible. Yeah, it's possible, Seabiscuit. It's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. So I was a Buddhist monk for 8 years at well-known monasteries around the world. I received a robe from the former abbot of a Thich Nhat Hanh tradition. It wasn't easy to get it, but I made sure I got it. Okay? I participated in a day of mindfulness ceremony. The recording might even be out there, in a once-in-a-lifetime Plum Village robe with my Thai Sangati on the left. Man, did I look hot. Everybody in that room said, who is that? It was a fucking entire thing. It was incredible. You can't get kicked out of the Sangha in the modern Sangha because there's no Sangha council. And all the bhikshus fall under the same patimokkha. So they can't actually do ceremonies like that, according to monastic law. They can pretend to, but it's not actually legal because the monastic law order is in that patimoksha that they follow. So they can't actually hold a true Sangha council. Legally. Vic Morrow, this is one of the problems, this is one of the issues, right? You don't have real experience in spiritual community. You've never worked with a teacher. You've probably never even attended a real meditation retreat. But you've given yourself this self-importance and this authority about all this stuff that's just irrelevant and impractical. Hi, Shelley. You were here already. You were here in spirit, Shelley. How's Ajahn Brahm doing? So we can get into trouble, okay? We can get called out. We can get put into a position with people that we're in relationship with mutual consent, mutual involvement. I could get in all kinds of trouble with Shelley. Shelley's a moderator here. Shelley's a important person in my life, for better or worse. I could get in all kinds of trouble with her. I can get into all kinds of trouble with my wife, even if she just something comes into her mind. Random people that come along and are stalking me or parasocially involved with me or have some delusion in their mind about me and then want to trigger me and do this and that, right? There's nothing to get in trouble about. I don't give a fuck about you or what you think or what you're doing. You're just, the trouble that you make is just coming and shitting in my house when I have an open door. And then this fantasy world where you can torture me or you can punish me or you can shit directly into my mouth. So I'm just not into that kind of stuff. And this is a very powerful energy that's in this world today. So that's why I'm speaking to it. Okay. Final warning, House of Mirrors. Final warning. That's up to me, Marco. Just because I'm live on YouTube doesn't mean that anything is not up to me. If I say I agree at that moment, I agree. If I don't agree at that moment, I don't agree. Just because I'm available and someone can bring me a gift doesn't mean that I won't smell shit, and say no thank you. And if you get to a high enough level, I guess you can do that, but you'd probably be so unbothered by this whole thing that you wouldn't be as available. Probably, I don't know. But I think, we seem to be doing what we seem, to have the intention to do. Yeah. Fantastic. Very good, Shelley. And Tabarwa in America is good. It's developing. Not quite my timing yet, but it's good. A lot of good things happening. And Aaron can help a lot. So it all works out. When we have the real mindfulness and detachment, it works out. You want to be here, you want to be a part of the community, be a member. $5 a month. It's got nothing to do with money. But if this isn't meaningful enough for you to spend $5 a month on what's going on here, then you don't need to be here. And if you don't like that, fuck off. Okay? And Vic Morrow, you're mentally ill. What do you want me to do about it? No, I'm not listening to you. Nobody here is listening to you. And for those people that say never, I've already talked about, if I don't make any money this month, so what? I don't need to make any money this month. If I don't make any money for 6 months, so what? It's not going to be any issue for me. If I don't make any money for a year, it's not going to be any issue for me. Okay? Curly yeast born. Nobody is believing in your bullshit. And if somebody's stupid enough to just be on a live stream and see somebody say a comment and say, really? Then they're too fucking stupid to be here. People that make comments like that are also fucking stupid as shit. I don't do this for money. If I get money when I do this, it's kind of pleasant. It's nice, right? Shut up, Marco. You're a loser. And you're afraid of me. Okay? I don't want you to be afraid of me. But you're, what are you, a bitch, a cunt, a punk, a pansy, whatever. You make these stupid little offhand comments. Why don't you call me on WhatsApp right now and talk it through? He's getting angry, he's getting angry. Okay, and you're fucking jerking off because some guy is getting angry or whatever. What, you know, so what do we, let's all jerk off about everybody being angry all the time. I mean, what are you talking about? I like working with people like this when they're honest. When they're not honest and they're not genuine, right? Shut up, you fucking crazy lunatic, Vic Morrow. Shut up. If we're all going to be honest, I like doing this. It's like playing basketball together. It's something I'm good at. I'm good at talking. I'm good at communicating. And then the fucking jankum dealers come up and say, I've been collecting your shit and your piss and getting high on it. You say you're intellectual, huh? You know what I mean? Yeah, weak-minded people, 100%. 100%. Well, they give a fuck enough to come and look at my face and listen to my voice. Thank you, Pedal Soul. Okay. Vic Morrow, I think it's better that you go to another live stream and be schizophrenic over there. Or become a member. If you're gonna be schizophrenic, at least donate. It is worth it because actually some of these people can hear and they get checked. Their ego gets checked and they're able to actually be more skillful in their lives. If I don't talk to them in this way, they're just going to keep talking to other people ridiculously. You know, I've got and then they laugh. Haha, he thinks what he says is true about me. Yeah, haha, you think what you say is true about me. Shut the fuck up. At least I'm not going to your live stream and watching you and listening to you. Haha, that's because, okay, I don't care. This isn't a conversation. I do not care. I'll make you care. I'll make you care. Okay, I don't care if you're repeating in your head that you're going to make me care. Just go and do that somewhere where I don't have to hear it. I've got things to do too. Boogie 2988 was exposed under a polygraph test. I need to go and look about that. Cops discovered a babysitter being eaten alive in a backyard. I need to go and research that and see what's going on with that. It's such a simple fucking thing to understand. You are choosing to come and listen to me and look at me. Take responsibility for that. I don't care why. That's your business. I don't care why. For anybody. For people who like, I worship you, I worship you. I don't give a fuck. I don't want you to worship me, but I really like you. I don't care. And of course, there's care in that I don't care, but I don't give a fuck. You go and deal with that yourself. Oh, you think you're going to use that as an argument against me, but I've actually got another answer. I don't care about your other answer. We're not having a conversation. I don't want to have a conversation with you. I don't want to watch your live stream. I don't want to hear your thoughts about anything. That's why I'm not on your YouTube channel writing little comments. Dr. Rob's having a breakdown. Okay, great. Make a blog post about it. People make these dumb fucking YouTube channels. Dr. Rob Fan Club, I made an AI voice. Get a life. You know? And the people that want to buy your jankum, well, good luck. This guy's nothing. This guy doesn't know anything. This guy doesn't know anything about anything. Well, at least I was a Buddhist monk for 8 years. Yeah, but you didn't learn anything. You got me. You win, I lose. You know, we're working with the lowest common denominator here. A lot of the time. So excuse me if my art reflects that. Oh, I forgot, art is illegal. I'm working on getting art decriminalized here, actually. All right, take care. All right, everybody. Unless there's anything else, any questions, or anybody wants to share anything, we'll wrap up our live stream here. We'll consider it a very successful live stream. Unless anybody wants to share anything or ask a question, make a donation. Okay. You do, but I'm much more experienced, incomprehensibly, not to stroke my ego, but incomprehensibly more experienced than you, heavens. More realized, more subtle technology than you. This Mr. Roman's character is interesting. Lesson of two arrows. Okay, so this is a classic. So basically, and see this kind of moment. So like when a real question comes up, right? And then I'm like reeling back, and I'm kind of preparing to answer. That's when people are pissing and shitting in my cup. And that's like the last time that you'd want, if you're preparing to share something deeply, to see someone in the corner of your eye pissing and shitting in your cup. It's very unsupportive. It's very difficult to do that. The lesson of two arrows, and you can feel it. That's when you can really feel the energy, because when you're opening up to be receptive to the subtleties of cause and effect, that's when you're open for people to piss and shit on your robe, because you're leaving the body, basically. Two arrows. Right, hold on, I gotta turn my brightness down here. See if I can turn this Mr. Roman into a student and a major donor. Here we go. No, that's not correct, Jamal. That's just nonsense. Sorry. And then at that moment as well, everybody thinks they're a teacher. Everybody's a Dharma teacher at that moment as well. And it is horrible. It's very difficult to teach in that kind of environment. So what we're working with a lot is compulsion. Compulsion to breathe. Compulsion to feel a certain way. And this compulsion comes from ignorance. Ignorance in terms of belief. So belief is ignorant, basically, at the fundamental level. Belief is ignorant. Or belief is ignorance. So when this compulsion of preferences, and people don't, also Krimik, speaking up, not understanding what a Dharma teacher is or what the Dharma is, thinking that it's like a philosophy or a statement of facts. And this compulsion has a tendency, or it has a habit. And that's what the body is. The physical body is like a compulsion or a tendency or a habit. It's cause and effect. The body is just cause and effect. And so the ego is basically this contraction of preferentiality on cause and effect that we call desire, or like preference with compulsion. And so this two arrow is, the first arrow is just reality. What is? Nama, rupa, name and form. Can be pleasant names. One name could be pleasant for one person, unpleasant for another. The self, or what we know as the ego, is like a sexual drive, or an affinity or an affiliation with unnecessarily going in a particular direction. Now, why is it unnecessary? Because we're human beings. So we can have enough awareness to see, to know that we will die, to know that ourselves, our lives, our identity is impermanent. Everything is impermanent. We can understand that. Dogs can understand that. Even like gods may be able to kind of understand that, but they live in a realm of pleasure where it's not relevant to them. You just have everything you want all the time. So we're all getting hit by the first arrow all the time. We just don't realize it. So we think it's like when something bad happens, we're getting hit by the first arrow. When we feel pain, oh, that's the first arrow. We're saying, where did this pain come from? What's going on with this pain? But actually, all of this is just suffering. All of this is the first arrow. Every single instantaneous moment, you're getting hit by the first arrow of conditionality, basically, that which is conditioned. And what is conditioned is suffering. What is conditioned is unsatisfactory. And the second arrow is not allowing the first arrow to just be the first arrow. And we have so many problems with the second arrow because we're unwilling in all these different situations to look at, to experience, to perceive the first arrow. So just keep your mind on the first arrow. And the second arrow will arise less and less, and then eventually it will never arise. In the now. Eventually is the second arrow. Suffering is nibbana. Of course, compulsion is as conditioned as conditionality. Everything that can be seen, heard, felt, experienced, everything that you can experience is conditioned. So it's unreliable. You can't rely on anything that you experience. Now we get into the tricks, the inconvenient, truthful tricks of non-self. Sure, love, sure. But very, very subtle. Very, very, very subtle. That's why if you meditate, it's good to feel pain. It's good to feel the pain like that and to be fully with it. That's how you develop your formula, your suffering is nibbana formula, or for lay people, it's more of a dukkha sukha formula, turning suffering or unhappiness into happiness. No, 100% incorrect, Jamal. You got to learn about Buddhism, man. You got to come hang out with the doc. Very, very bad. But I can see you have a little bit of heart. So that's good. But you don't have to come and learn from me. Enzo and Fuzo, if you can't afford being a member on this channel for $5 a month, maybe you need to spend time doing something better than that. Yes, exactly, Jamal. Exactly. And that's exactly what you're doing. Not really, but sorta. So it's also kind of like the hat in Harry Potter. So if you put on the Dr. Rob sorting hat, he can say, oh, here, 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 here. But there can be somebody like when the sorting hat went on to Harry Potter, the sorting hat said, what the bit. So that can also happen. But it will usually happen based on someone being more advanced. And if anybody here is more advanced than me, please call in on WhatsApp. Let's have a conversation, for God's sakes. And that's one of the things with the trolls. They cannot comprehend what's going on here. Their minds do not have access to that degree of subtlety. So they can't come here. So they can't be where this is. So they're trying to hook something in to bring it down to where they are, where they live. Okay. All right, Jamal. Well, I do wish you good luck. Come on, Roman. What are we talking about here? What kind of net worth are we looking at here? What's your job, man? What do you do for work? I was a Buddhist monk for 8 years, man. I'm a professional consultant. I am a professional consultant. Okay? I don't need your luck, Jamal. I'm more advanced spiritually than you are. Okay? I don't need any luck from you. You need my luck. I don't need your luck. It's like coming to a university professor's lecture, the university professor telling you you don't know a lot and teaching, and then you say, okay, good luck. Doesn't make any sense. Just do it now, Enzo. Do it now, or I will strike you down with a bolt of lightning. And the answer to that, Mr. Roman, is tangentially, or sorta, kinda. But the Buddha's primary teaching is on non-self and meditative absorption. Well, I certainly can't find it. My ego. But ego is not a good term. You got to think Western people have been barbarians. Why do white people have the highest social stratum in terms of all races? Because of how fucking horrible they've been. What did I tell you? What did I tell you, people? Be a donor, be a volunteer, be a meditator, or shut the fuck up. You got money to spend? Spend it. In terms of the nails, donated. In terms of the nails, no. I went to that place. And they ground into my nails. They ground out the top of my nails, and I never agreed to that. I never consented to that. So the Buddha gives a teaching on the impossibility of self. That everything is non-self. That this very idea of a self, of a soul, even a unified one, is just nonsense. Not one, not two, not a dot. So you can learn about it. I'll teach you about it. But you have to humble yourself. You got to give me some fucking money. Spiritually, mentally, money of the body, money of the mind. There's no other way to do this. You're not a Buddhist, you know. I'm not a monk. You can't gotcha me, Jamal. You can't gotcha me. Top 99th percentile is my IQ. Really, Salty? Yeah, Brahmin is just a... It didn't work out for the Indian people, did it? Who are you, Jamal? Introduce yourself. You can hear my voice, you can see my face, you can see my whole YouTube channel. How about you introduce yourself? How about what goes a little bit both ways here? I tell you what, you people are going to be amazed. You people are going to be amazed with the the Spain meditation retreat. You people are going to be amazed at the meditation center that we're building here in Vietnam. Just the warm lighting, the lamps, the art, the energetic dynamics, the bathtub. Chanath's going to be there. the seating arrangements. You are going to be sitting on couches that are you're going to say, I don't need a room. I got a fucking couch. We're talking about high-end bean bags. To even call it a bean bag is not right. And the book, oh, the book, baby. Oh, the book. Wait till you get a load of this book. But I don't know what the next step is. It's just, Sadhguru is trying to help people get initiated, but to actually get initiated is not realistic for most people. Most people that have gone through the inner engineering are not initiated in the real way of initiation. So a lot of it is a show. It's a therapy. It's holistic model, basically. It's holistic model training. Real initiation means you need to find a guru that is accessible, and you need to work with them, who's been initiated. And those people are much more rare than millionaires. Much more rare than millionaires. So Sadhguru is teaching people how to work with their minds and deal with their minds through belief, through ritual. But Sadhguru doesn't believe anything. And that's what real initiation, being initiated into non-belief, being initiated into the impossibility of rites and rituals leading anywhere. You know, but the way that I do things now, I can't trust people. It's not that I don't want to make a fool of myself, because that people know that I don't have a problem with making a fool of myself. It's just that the energy dynamics aren't there to do that kind of work, whether you're genuine or not. It's just a very small group of people, you know, gets smaller and smaller as every day goes by. Okay, good. Sounds good, Enzo. And if people want to come in and say that that's not good or not correct, that's great. But they have to have some experience in the subject matter. Period. There's no blockages, there's no restrictions here for people to come in and say that this isn't correct or that this is dangerous or unskillful. Just if you don't have any experience in the subject matter, you're not even willing to be a genuine person and coming here and share, you can't, there's nothing that can be done with that. It's like coming onto a job site, not knowing anything about construction or materials or what's going on, and then saying, yeah, but I have something to say. It doesn't matter what you have to say. And that's a law. And I'm certainly not going to be changing that law. I would be insane to change that law. That's not correct, Heaven. You're not correct. You are not correct. But you are here. You're willing to be generous. You're open. You're willing to have your ego challenged. That's correct. Then people say, but I tricked you. Well, okay. So what? I'm not claiming to be a God man. Just claiming to be someone who has experience in this kind of stuff. Because it's just holistic methodology for most people to get that initiation into non-belief or insight. So the deep meditation, it allows you to live a healthy and happy life for yourself. What the Buddha created is a system basically to create a happy life for everything, or a free life for everything. Because when you see something as a thing, you miss out on its nature. And what we really want to learn from is the nature, not from things. Now we can call things, oh, I'm learning from the thing by looking, I'm learning from this thing by looking at it because I'm seeing its nature, but you can't do that unless you're initiated. And I don't have much commercial appeal. That's why I need volunteers. Yeah, to live a balanced life. I need volunteers. There's plenty of content already out there for the book, but is the time, the place, the consideration? People come in and say, this is ridiculous. Dr. Rob's just a loser. Yeah, but if you don't have any experience in the context here, we're not talking about a high school meeting. We're all just showing up and we're sharing our things. This is about something. This is from something that's nothing. About Buddhism. About practical lived experience in Buddhist communities or Buddhist community. About being able to understand and give talks on suttas and Buddhist teachings, to be able to explain them to people, to help them understand, to help them be generous, to volunteer, to meditate. But we teach meditation on the wisdom element. This is wisdom element meditation here. Like meditating on impermanence, or meditating on non-self, or meditating on everything is shit and not trying to make it better. You know, people say, oh, but it's so small. It's just such a small group of people. Well, my bills are all paid. I don't need it to be a big group of people. I don't need it to be any people. My bills are still going to be paid. But you want the attention. Well, don't we all want a little bit of attention? But if I didn't have the attention, I'd be okay or not okay. I don't know. What if? What if I shit gold? It's not going to change the fact that my bills are already paid, regardless of how much gold I shit. It's not just my bills, my wants are also paid. Smaller groups better, it's more intimate, but there's also problems that come from that. There's also confusions that come from that. So it's not a this or that thing, it's just this. It's just this. And this is a realization of just this. So the further that you go into realization of just this, you have total consent, or you have a higher or lower degree of consent. It's not about to make yourself feel better than you feel right now. It's to say no. So if my realization level was much higher, I could just say no to all the trolls. But then we get into the wisdom element where it's not about a story of you doing anything. It's just this. People can, people get a feedback, or people have a feeling, or that helps someone, or that enters someone, right? Okay, that's great, but I can't see that, I can't feel that, so I can't work with that. So you have to, if you want to support this, if you want to involve with this, you're going to have to donate. You're going to have to volunteer. You're going to have to practice seriously together with the Sangha, this Sangha. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to question, what are you doing here? Why am I here? Ask yourself why you're here.
Actually, my techniques is also focused on the navel. It's when we focus there, we're more easily to sense the thoughts and emotion has come to us. And this, when we practice like that, it's not just when I cross our leg and try to pay attention to my navel as much as I can. So it's just how it's have to detect the thoughts that come to me. So that's how I did it. 7, please. 7.
Hello. Cảm ơn thầy. Dạ con cũng bị cái vấn đề đó.
We need more Chinese millionaires. We need people to spice this up. I need to be picking up my phone. Dr. Rob, we're organizing the Spain meditation retreat. Dr. Rob, the book's ready. Dr. Rob, we're hiring a personal fitness coach for you. No, I hired one myself. Jason's going to be here. It's okay if you don't understand this. You don't have to understand this to be here. So, oh, poor me, poor me. Shut up.
Là giống như con thấy giống như là mình có một cái tập khí rất là mạnh.
It's very good master. This is a very good master here. This is Master Yonghua's second in command, or male second in command.
Không có nói nữa, tại vì khi nói là sẽ có gây. Thì con sẽ tự động, con biết bắt đầu mà nói mà ấy là con sẽ tự động im lặng. Thì khi con im lặng thì bắt đầu cái phiền não nó sẽ trỗi dậy trong con. Nó sẽ trỗi dậy, thì khi nó trỗi dậy thì con sẽ biết được, con nhận ra nó được hết. Nhưng nó cứ, nó cứ tấp vô, thì bắt đầu con
And it is good. It is good. You guys are sitting there, you guys are listening, you take this seriously, that's great. Well, fuck you. Pay me, volunteer, figure something out, help out in some way. Okay? These people exist or not exist, or whatever. You're just sitting there all taking this seriously, soaking it all in. No such thing as a free lunch. Unless you're a monk or a nun. This guy's great. Navel focusing.
Thank you, Master. So I also have the same problem with my energy. So when it become very strong, especially with my other half, my husband. So usually when people stay together, we come close together. More oftentimes, we will have affliction arise when each of us speaking our mind and with a different opinion. So that also manifests our affliction as well. So usually in that case, I would use the Buddha names trying to diffuse it. But if sometime it doesn't work, then I actually yell at myself for having those kind of thoughts, and I told myself that, oh, this is kind of crazy. It probably come from the accumulating habit energy of my
Man,
karma.
this guy is
that
good.
It is so big that it proliferating is so heavy. So then I stop the conversations because if I go onto that same path, I know that we will have an argument. So then I quiet, and but when I become
This guy's
quiet,
so
the
good.
afflictions arise stronger. Knowing that it keep adding on. So then to the point that if I know, I can just yell at myself and then say, "Oh, this is not okay. This is not acceptable." The sort of like judging or criticizing myself that I am a bad person, and then when I start laughing about it,
You have to listen, Kian War. You have to think about what you want to do. If you're interested in enlightenment, you can work with someone like me. If you're interested in developing your energy body, stay with Sadhguru. You're gonna get more if you give more, right? Kind of Hinduism versus Buddhism. But when we talk about if you're actually talking about building up your energy body, you're talking about going to a meditation retreat and sitting in a room and focusing on your breathing for 10 hours, for 10 days, or whatever, etc. It's very complicated. Just like everybody here could go insane. It's very easy to become insane. It's not complicated. It's very easy. So there's a vulnerability that we need to open ourselves up to. Can you do it? Sure, but it's impermanent. It's empty. House of Mirrors Tarot, what is your net worth? The thing is, I don't have a tolerance for it. I don't really believe in that. I don't live like that. And I'm already a part of something bigger than anything that I would ever hope to build. Google it, House of Mirrors. Google it. The spiritual path is essentially about developing a relationship with the Sangha. That's it.
afflictions die down. So
And most people do not get much success. Period. Most people do not get much success. You know, even what is much, but being realistic, most people do not get very good results. Even if you were to be heavily involved with Isha or something like that, you're not going to be around Sadhguru. You're not going to be around the people that are involved with Sadhguru. There's so many people in there. So their standards are actually going to be very low. And then you go to a place where there's going to be very high standards. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be very difficult. Yeah, that's a good way to say it, Kiana War. That's a good way to think about it. But to get yourself into that position, you need a lot of support from people that are farther along on the path than you are. You need to be able to have conversations like this. Okay? OG Love Dove, it's not arrogance versus arrogance. It's experience versus a lack of experience. What do you want to do about it? Were you a Buddhist monk for 8 years? Have you trained with meditation masters around the world? Have you attended many intensive meditation retreats? No. So you are not equal to me. Nor am I above you, nor am I below you. But in terms of experience, I'm much more experienced than you are. Much, much more experienced. Well, look at here. Living Natty was a Buddhist monk for 8 years. Good for you, man. And playing games with your ego like this, it will never get you anywhere.
of course, it's not like all 100%, but when this affliction die down, the next one will arise again, and the next day it will come back again.
Can we thank you for your tip? Anyone do the same? Yell at yourself. So I'm curious. Yeah, I asked lady that so after yelling yourself, you feel okay, and then she says it's okay. It's okay. If it's worked, it's good. But I don't yell at myself so often. Hopefully it doesn't have the backfire when you do it to yourself. Number 5, please.
Yes. So just to comment on that. So years ago, I was so I started going to self-help groups, and so they will always say, kind of like, if you have an issue, it is inside of you. So, and then, because I didn't know how to reflect, there's other people that they will basically point out my flaws. And then I thought that was a good thing because, they will bring it to my awareness. And then, because it was so painful when they were telling me those things, then I say, I better pay attention to myself. But then I didn't know how to deal with it. So then I will get mad at myself, yell at myself, and discipline myself.
So that's not what I'm doing. I'm not recruiting people. I'm just opening a door into my cave. That's it. Okay? If anything, I'm preventing people from being recruited here actively. So it is what it is. This is my life. This is life. It's not my life. This is just life. I share things that I'd like to do and would be willing to do, and I do what I'm willing to do, and I don't do what I'm not willing to do. And that's it. People that recruit other people know better than to expose themselves in any realistic way, unless they're hanging out with their other scam artist friends. All right. Well, any final donations? Any final questions? Where am I right now? I'm right here. Where are you? Okay. Great. Seek and ye will find. Good night, everybody. See you next time. Emaho, emaho, emaho. Seal, seal, seal. Oi, 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 oi.